Hey guys, John from New England Remodeling. A little different video today. I just replaced the sway bar links on my truck, which is a 2011 GMC Sierra. The product I used was the Moog Problem Solvers. That model number is K700538, made in the USA. Pretty cool. If you look in here, for anybody that's unfamiliar, this is the sway bar. That's the sway bar. This is the lower control arm, and this is the sway bar link that connects the two on both sides. Mine had broken. I was under the truck the other weekend, doing an oil change and just tuning a couple things up, and I noticed I had two broken sway bar links. So I ordered up these Moog Problem Solvers. After a little bit of research, these seem to be the best. And I thought I'd put together just a quick video about the tools you need and the way I approached it to get this thing done. I'm going to go ahead and assume that these sway bar links are going to be the same for most GM vehicles in this weight class and also in this time frame. So probably Suburbans, Tahoes, Yukons, Escalades, Silverados, Sierras, possibly even down into the trains and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but this is what mine looked like. One side it was broken off at the top, and the other side was broken off at the bottom here. In order to get these out, I started wrenching on these with a wrench. The stock units are both 15mm top and bottom, so that's the tools you're going to need to get those off. But I started going at it with a 15mm up top here, and because you know there's not a ton of corrosion, but enough, plus the fact that I didn't have an upper and a lower nut to connect a wrench to and put some torque on this thing, I was trying to grab the middle here with a pair of pliers or something, and because of the brake, I don't know if you can kind of see that. It's not, yeah, focus is all right. It is really corroded in there. The steel shaft that runs through this thing is just probably corroded solid in there. So everything wanted to turn as one piece. Pretty quickly I realized this was a losing battle, and I got out the grinder, threw a 4.5-inch cutting disc on there and went to town. So you can see that got cut off there. Through there's the cut section. I just came through the bushing, and on the other side, same thing. I didn't even try the wrench on this side. I just cut it right off. Again, went through the bushing on this one. You can kind of see where the cut slot is. It came in through, cut that off. They popped right off, super quick. So that's definitely, if you have a grinder or access to a grinder, that's the way I would recommend it. To reinstall the Moogs, since they're made in the USA, you need two sizes. The bottom nut, the kind of the nut that, yeah, the nut, not the bolt, is a 5/8, and the top is a 9/16. So I'm going to jump under the truck here and take a look at them. They already are installed. You can see them right there. Let me see if I can get a little better light. There you go. So those are the new units. Like I said, 5/8 nut down there, 9/16 at the top. I did have to use that clamp you saw earlier in the video to compress the sway bar to the control arm in order to get these new units in. Not great lighting under here, guys, sorry. It's fairly straightforward. If you need these and you're going to tackle it yourself, it's really not a difficult project. It should go quick. You're going to be able to see, based on the parts you have that come in the kit, it's not very complicated. You'll know right away how to put it together. But this is what I did today. Hopefully it kind of clarifies things for you. Get under your trucks, take a look. I think when I was doing my research, it seemed that there was a handful of people that this had happened to, so it might be a common problem, which is why Moog has addressed it with their Problem Solver line of parts. Take care, guys. Hope this helped. Bye. Hey, just a little side note about how tight you should be getting these things. I looked around on the internet, and there wasn't really an exact spec. The box that they come in says torque to factory specs. What I found was most people say it's really more about compressing the bushings a certain amount. So what I did was I kind of went with that rule of thumb. If you can see, you know, these are the bushings here. One of the things I read was to compress the bushings about 2/3 of their original height. So you see them now, you'll see them when you get them in the pack. That's about 2/3 of what they were, how tall they were. Another thing I did was I just ran the nut up until it was flush with the bottom of the bolt, as you can see right there. That is sort of my baseline. I'm going to come back, check these things periodically and see what they're doing. Maybe I got to go a little tighter, maybe a little looser. But that should get you into the ballpark of where you should be torque-wise.